2 years. But, we saw him at the end of the year, he's starting to come back, isn't he?
Yeah.
So do you think in 2013, could he mount a challenge?
Well, he could if Alonso wasn't his teammate, because when you're Alonso's team, you're not really allowed to race him, are you?
So basically, you're saying if Alonso wasn't there, he could be challenging for the title.
Yeah, he definitely could.
Alright, so basically he's anti-Alonso over here, so...
Well, definitely, yeah.
Alright, let's move on from Ferrari to McLaren.
Yeah, just save the fight, because the fight would happen. Yeah.
The fight would definitely happen, yeah. Let's move to McLaren now. Jenson and Lewis, there was no really a change there, wasn't there?
No, never.
No, Lewis with his flamboyant driving, crashing style from last year, if we all remember. And then Jenson Button with his smooth, classic, I don't want to crash you into you type style. But he's a brilliant driver, Jenson. That's why he won the title in 2009. But 2010 sort of struggled because he's in a new team and he's in Lewis's backyard.
It's a shadow, really.
Yeah. So basically, if you go into Lewis's team, that's his team. You don't get a say.
Is that going to be the case for Nico Rosberg the next year?
I don't think that's the case because Nico's been there longer than Lewis.
Yeah.
So basically, Nico will be their number one and Lewis will be their number two. But they did say that he wanted their number one status in his contract, didn't he? Well, that's not going to happen. Ross Bourne's having none of that. So, that was that change. And then we should go down... What? Do you want to say something about that?
No.
Alright, okay.
Carry on, I'm just here. I'm just waiting for the laptop to work.
Alright, fair enough. Let's move on to Williams. They had a pretty...
Shit year.
I wouldn't say a shit year.
Well, it wasn't good.
It's like managing QPR.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, but Williams turned themselves around this year. They had Pastor Maldonado, still there, second year, and Bruno Senna, who was in with Renault.
The previous year.
Yeah, and now talking about Renault, let's move on to them. They had the best driver of them all, Kimi Raikkonen.
The best of them all. Really?
Oh, he had an improvement for Michael Schumacher. Come on, at least he won a race.
Oh,
No offence, Michael, but if you're a driver, you need to win a race, don't you?
Yeah.
You need to win. That's the whole point.
Well, it's hard to Kovalainen.
Yeah, but Kovalainen is in Caterham.
Yeah.
He's in Caterham. Forget about Kovalainen. He's in Caterham.
So sorry, Hickey, for that.
I'm not going to go. I'm just saying he may won one race with McLaren, but you need to prove yourself. And Caterham. No offence, Caterham. You can't do that really with Caterham, can you?
Well, we're going to get into a lot of trouble for this, aren't we?
I think we're going to get a lot of stick on YouTube fans.
Yeah. Well, from the Caterham
loyalists. The
Caterham loyalists, though.
Yeah, we're going to get...
There's going to be one person
so if we go to
a
Grand Prix event in the future, Caterham fans will be looking at us.
We'll have to take security.
Yeah.
So sometime after this goes out, there'll be someone in their room with all those Caterham posters all around it, and having a rant at us saying, "How dare you say this? They're good."
Well, I've got nothing against Caterham, but they were Lotus.
They were Lotus.
They were Lotus, so they changed themselves. So that's a bit no.
The plagiarism.
Yeah, so let's move on to Renault. They had.
There's a mate in my class who knows all about plagiarism. You know who you are, King.
Okay, we're not talking about Yale, let's move on.
Sorry.
But of course we had Renault. Kimi Raikkonen, I think he had a good season.
Yeah, it was alright.
He was challenging for the title at one stage and then disappeared.
They went bellies up.
And then there was Romain Grosjean.
Who just crashed every race.
Yeah, I think they should be on injury lawyers for you somewhere there.
Have you been injured at work?
Let's move on from Renault. Do you want to pitch in now?
Well, you seem to have control of this.
I'm not in control. I just feel like you're just sitting
there. You're the presenter. I'm just like the expert analyst.
Expert analysis, really? Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Well, it's a lot better than they've got on Sky.
Let's not get into that just yet. Let's talk about Marussia. You got a bit of Marussia on there.
Yeah, over
They've had Timo Glock and who's the name of the other driver?
To Charles Pick.
Charles Pick, yeah, that's him. Yeah, Russia had a pretty good season. I really admire because they don't have any KERS on their car, so they struggled a bit. And KERS gives you like 10 seconds of power to your disposal, but they did well. But they missed out on 10th place to Caterham. Again, moving on off Caterham. And let's go over to HRT, who are not in
where'd you start?
who are not in Formula One anymore. Yes, they had Pedro Della Rosa and Narain Kazakian. Now, why do we start with the Indian driver? He's been playing...
The Lorraine sounds like a woman's name to start with, so...
That's your only objection to his name, isn't it? He sounds like a woman.
Well, I couldn't get over everything else. It's the first one I thought every time that the content mentioned his name.
Right.
Lorraine is
He's had incidents was in Malaysia, if we can recall. But that was a brilliant race in Malaysia, wasn't it? If you agree, just make a comment. Yeah.
Give us a like. Give us a like. Please.
What we get, yeah. We can maybe you can see us on the BBC in the future. I don't
To do a lot better job than Eddie Jordan. He was just there going, yay.
Let's not get into a fight with Eddie Jordan. But
well, he won't be able to reach the punch, will he? He's so small. Like,
yeah, so this is what's going to be like for the rest of the series. So I have to restrain him if I can.
I'll be bound and gagged for the next one.
Yeah, I'll put him somewhere you can't see him. Yeah, so now let's move on to Sauber. The two brilliant drivers, Sergio Perez.
And Kikumu Kobayashi.
Yes, now Sergio, he has gone to McLaren for 2013.
To replace Hamilton.
To replace Hamilton, who has moved to Mercedes, which we'll get on to in a minute. But we think that the move to McLaren for Sergio Perez is
a great move.
A great move for McLaren, but he didn't score any points during the end of the season.
Yeah, after it was announced that he was replacing those, he seemed to have a major dip in results.
Yes, but that's not the thing. He's a good driver. You saw that in the European season. I think if they should have kept the move quiet, then he could have scored more points. Excuse me. But let's talk about Kimi Kobayashi. Now, when he came in 2009, we never heard of him.
No.
But he did brilliant in Toyota.
Yeah.
And we all saw
him develop into 2010 with some good results.
Yeah. And then 2011 he did alright. Then Sergio came in.
Yeah. And so just to steal his limelight, really.
Yeah, saying, this is my team, mate. And then he hasn't got a drive.
No, for 2013, so he's in trouble.
Would you mind taking
another
over?
one for the unemployed list.
I'll be back in a minute. Would you mind taking over?
I suppose. But with all these people staring at me get stage right.
Just pretend they're not here. Pretend they're not here. Back in a minute.
What am I talking about?
You're talking about
He needs a
Sauber.
drink. He needs a drink.
Let's talk about Sauber. Just talk about them.
Well, halfway through the season they got a bigger sponsorship deal with Chelsea, didn't they?
Yeah, no, that was a weird one, that. Now Chelsea are a football team. What they got to do with Sauber?
Well done.
Shut up.
Stating the obvious there.
So, my apologies. What is the big deal? Chelsea sponsoring Sauber. What do they get?
I don't know. I mean, that there was never really an explanation, was there? It was just that did they advertise this?
Did Roman Abramovich saw another great adventure somewhere?
To ruin for everyone else.
Yeah. Is he going to start sacking all the...
Everyone's going to sack...
Everyone there?
To sack the Peter Sauber.
No offence, Chelsea fans there.
Actually, yes, offence, Chelsea fans. I hate you. I hate you.
Okay, let's not get into a hate crime over here.
Sorry, I just feel so passionate about these things.
Yeah, we nice fans.
I need a therapist. Yeah,
you need a shrink.
Yeah, a shrink.
I think you need to tell the Doomsday Cult about that as well.
Yeah.
Your world's not going to happen, people.
It is. I'm afraid. You know, Christmas this year. Get a refund on your presents.
Yes, we're going slightly off topic now, aren't we?